The moment this news dropped, you could almost hear the collective pause in the EXO-L fandom. Not excitement, not hype, just confusion. Because this wasn't some random rumor or mistranslation. This was a last-minute lineup shift that hit fans right in the expectations. EXO was finally coming back with group content. EXO Ladder, a show that's basically comfort food for the fandom, was returning after nearly 2 years. And people thought, okay, maybe this time it's different. Maybe this time it's really happening. And then boom, Lay is out. Let's rewind for a second, because context matters here. EXO Ladder isn't just another variety show. It's one of the few spaces where fans get to see EXO as themselves, not just idols on stage or voices on a track. It's chaotic, it's intimate, it's memories. Japan trips, Korea trips, random missions decided by luck. This show is literally built on the idea of togetherness. So when the initial buzz suggested a 6-member return, fans mentally locked that in. 6 members. Progress, healing era, growth, closure maybe. Then SM Entertainment confirms the lineup. Suho, Kai, Dio, Sehun, Chanyeol. 5, not 6. Lay won't be joining the new season after all, and that's where the backlash started rolling in fast. Because for a lot of fans, this wasn't just disappointment, it was déjà vu, a painful one. People immediately brought up Don't Fight the Feeling, where Lay was technically part of the album, but not the promotions, not the content, not the visible group activities. Audio-only participation again. And fans are tired, not angry in a hateful way, but exhausted in a we've seen this movie too many times way. One of the biggest questions blowing up Korean forums was brutally simple. If Lay wasn't going to be part of group content, why was he involved in the album at all? And that question isn't disrespectful, it's logical. Fans aren't saying they don't want Lay. They're asking why SM keeps putting him in this awkward half-in, half-out position that satisfies no one. Either commit fully or stop dangling him like a footnote. Some comments didn't even try to soften the frustration. Then why on earth did he even participate in this album? That sentiment came up again and again. Others went further, saying SM should just do EXO with 5 members if this is how it's going to be. And that hurts to read, because it shows how fractured expectations have become. Not because fans hate Lay, but because inconsistent management has trained them to lower their standards. There were also fans who sounded resigned rather than angry. Comments like, EXO's Ladder sounds like it'll be fun, almost feel bittersweet. Like, yes, we'll still watch, yes, we still love them, but something is missing and everyone knows it. Then you have the more emotional reactions. Just take Lay out of the audio tracks too, which honestly says more about frustration than actual desire. It's people lashing out at a system that keeps repeating the same pattern. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, because Korean netizens definitely did. China. Several reactions straight up said, so China really is the issue, and whether that's fair or not, it's a reflection of how unclear SM has been over the years. Fans are left to speculate, to connect dots, to fill in silence with assumptions. Is it scheduling, political restrictions, contract boundaries, strategic ambiguity? No one really knows, and that lack of transparency is exactly why backlash grows every time. From a business perspective, and let's be honest here, this is a brand management problem. EXO is a legacy group. At this stage, fans aren't casual consumers, they're emotionally invested stakeholders. When you tease unity but deliver fragmentation, you erode trust, and trust is currency in fandom culture. SM keeps trying to play both sides, keeping Lay attached to EXO's name musically while excluding him from the group experience. That might look safe on paper, but emotionally, it's messy. What makes this situation even more frustrating is the timing. This isn't early career EXO juggling international schedules. This is veteran EXO, post-enlistment era, where fans expected smoother coordination and more intentional decisions. Instead, it feels like last-minute adjustments and reactive announcements. That's why people are mad, not because Lay isn't on the show, but because no one understands why this keeps happening. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The fandom is slowly being conditioned to accept less clarity, less inclusion, less effort. When fans start saying, next time just do it with 5 members, that's not a win. That's fatigue talking. That's a sign people are tired of hoping for consistency and being disappointed instead. At the same time, it's important to say this clearly. None of this backlash is Lay's fault, and most fans know that. The frustration is aimed squarely at management decisions, communication failures, and repeated patterns. Lay showing up for albums only to disappear from content puts him in an unfair position too. He ends up being the symbol of a problem he didn't create. EXO's ladder will probably still be fun, fans will still watch, clips will still go viral, but the conversation around this comeback is already marked by disappointment instead of celebration, and that's on SM. When anticipation turns into confusion, that's a strategy failure. Now, I want to know what you think. Are fans right to be upset, or is this just the reality of a global group with complicated logistics? Do you think SM should commit fully to one lineup instead of constantly shifting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything. And if you want honest, fan-driven K-pop news without sugarcoating, make sure you subscribe to Dayback Daily. New videos, real discussions, and no corporate PR spin. See you in the next one.